David J. Coon with Qigong Awareness. I wanted to take you through a routine. This is Medical Qigong for back pain. In case you didn't know, I got run over by a trailer when I was like 12 years old. I know, it wasn't much fun. It ran over the whole right side of my back, messed up my back pretty bad. I had severe scoliosis after the next couple of years following that accident. By the time I was 25 years old, I had been practicing Qigong for 10 years. But I didn't know all the secrets that I know now. So I'm going to share some secrets with you, how I healed my spine, especially in those last 3 years. From 25 to 28 years old, I was able to reverse the spinal disease in my back and alleviate that pain. I want to take you through some exercises that might help you to do that same thing for yourself or perhaps for some of your clients. So get yourself situated in your living room, wherever you are. Set up your iPad or your computer. Go ahead and just start rubbing your hands together here for a moment. You're just going to rub your hands together a little bit. Those of you who've done some of my videos or practiced with me live, you may remember this one. Just warming up, and then I have you hold right here. This is called lower dantian. I place my right thumb on the lower rim of my navel center, and I'm going to place my left hand on top, okay? And then I want to bring my mind down to this area of my body being. I know that's harder to do than it is to say. So just for a moment, bear with me. And as I tell some of my students, practice patience here. You actually want to practice patience, being still. There are things that I would love for you to observe in a longer practice session of holding lower dantian. Some of those things would include a change in what's going on in your saliva, therefore what's going on in your throat. A change in temperature in your body, which might heat up a little bit, become a little bit of a hotter temperature because of what's going on in the lower dantian. And my breath is starting to change ever so slightly. I started to speak to you, my breath shot up to my chest and to my lungs. I can already feel the heat building. Typically for most people it won't happen that quickly, but I tend to practice a lot, so already I can feel the heat of that. If you feel that warmth and that heat already, good for you. And if you don't worry about it. Just keep practicing this for a moment, holding this area. Over time with practice, you're looking to bring your mind and your emotions and your tension and settle that by bringing your mind down into this lower belly, into this area of the lower dantian. I'm going to have you go ahead and take a deep breath. Exhale. And I'm going to have you breathe again. Deep breath in, slow through the nose. Try and raise the belly. Exhale your breath. And we're going to do one more. And exhale. Let your hands come down to your side. Just going to kind of shake it out a little bit. I'm going to bend my knees in the second exercise. So that first exercise was just called holding the lower dantian. The second exercise, we are going to reach down and we're going to imagine picking up energy like this. Pick it up. We're going to reach and arch back. Going to kind of stretch just a little bit like this. One hand is going to come over the top of the other hand. I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to send the energy through my legs. This exercise is called Around the World, and in the second half of this exercise, you'll see why. This is a two-part exercise. This is the first part. Once you have this motion down, you want to start to breathe. Inhale slow through the nose as you come up. As you arch like this, you're trying to breathe that breath all the way down below your belly button. Then here, inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Real easy here. You want to make sure your knees are bent, otherwise this is going to bother your back. Otherwise, this is an excellent exercise for your back. Just be careful. If you have back problems, you might want to just go this far. okay? Up. Or some of your clients have trouble bending over. It'd be a breath like that. Breath like that. For those of you that can go all the way down, we go here. I'm going to reach, arch back. I'm going to do a couple more. This first part of the exercise is like the pump, or we can think of it as like priming the pump. Now I'm going to rock, okay? Don't worry about which side you're going first. Just rock to one side. Now rock to the other side. Rock to a third side. So that's 3 times. Come up on the opposite side. Reach up, stretch, bend knees, come down. You're going to swing once, twice, 3 times. You're going to come up on the other side. I'm going to swing 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come up on the other side, so the 4th side. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4 is coming up on that opposite side. And I go 1, 2, 3. Come up. I go 1, 2, 3. Come up. This is the going around the world here. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to come up. I go 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to come up. I love this Qigong exercise. 2, 3. Some days I feel like I could just do this one exercise for 20 minutes or something, or a half hour. I just love doing this one. 1, 2, 3, and then I come up. If I do it with the breath, this is my exhale. This is my inhale. Good. If you like yoga, that type of thing, you can also stretch here a little bit, just bending over, touching the knees. If you're more flexible and want to incorporate some of your yoga practices, you could reach down. This would be a good time to touch your feet, reach over to one side, over to the right or the left, and then reach over to another side. So whether that's your knee or your foot, just a little bit of stretch. Little bit of a hang, just an in-between practice. Then I'm going to slowly come up. If you're not strong enough, you want to bend your knees. Okay, just come up. You can push off your knees to kind of sit up like that. Okay, in the next exercise, we're going to actually go this way, out with the hands. So this one's going to come up, and I'm going to go out with the hands. This is called Wei Qi. We have a Wei Qi field, which is an electromagnetic field out here surrounding our body. It's like an aura, a protective aura. We want to make it bigger. Use inhale and imagination to make it bigger. This is your exhale. On the exhale, you want to push your breath out. If you ever start to get dizzy or lightheaded doing this one, just go slower, back off, take a break for a second. Sometimes maybe even just practice like this, where you're not using the breath, you're just doing the movement. Your hands don't have to be exact with this, okay? The main idea is you're using your mind, expand the field here. From here, you're drawing energy from earth. You're reaching up and out. You're making this circular arching kind of motion. There's an inhale, here's an exhale. A few more of these because it feels so good. I'm just going to let that go. From here, my hands are actually going to go right back the opposite way. Okay? This one is called the waterfall or the waterfalls. And I'm going to let this come straight down through the center. So I'm going this way now. And I'm bringing this down through the center. So imagine standing in a big waterfall. The water's running where? Down. With a sh sound. That's the inhale. Not too fast with the inhale, because I want it to go down to my belly. One more. Now, if you're not familiar with the horse stance looks like this. You're roughly like this. You're sitting a little bit on a horse. So some of you are going to be roughly like this. Some of you are more flexible. You're going to be further apart, but sitting deeper. But in general, this is like a middle horse stance. You want to learn to work with this like you're sitting on a horse. If you have an injured leg, for example, I have people who come to the seminars, for example, they stand on this leg while they're trying to get this leg to catch up to speed. They'll let this one just sit up high, like if they have a knee injury or something. So you can play with that. Those are some different ways for you to play with it. So the first part of this next exercise, you're just going to stand here. I want you to experience that horse stance a little bit. You can rest your hands right here, and you're just going to stand for a minute. Now, if you're not familiar with horse stance, you never trained with me before or trained these types of movements through Qigong or Kung Fu, whatever the case may be, then you may not be familiar with all of what this stance can do for you. So first of all, one of the things it can do is that when you stand in it and get used to standing in it, you can kind of quiet your mind and settle your emotions, calm your stress, alleviate anxiety, and get grounded. This type of movement is practiced by sumo wrestlers, okay? It's practiced by judo people, jiu-jitsu people, kung fu people who like to get grounded, earthed, and then be able to use some of that power for whatever they're going to do next. But for our purposes, there are meridians running up and down the leg, acupuncture meridians, pathways for blood, pathways for qi. And learning to stand in this for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, etc. is very, very good for you. It irrigates those meridians and cleans things up. So once you've been standing in this for a minute or two with me like this, now we're going to actually use our hands and we're going to actually go here right on the tops of the thighs. This is a major player in people's low back problems, especially low back problems, tend to be up here in the thigh. So you're actually going to use a little bit of your strength, but some leverage to actually bend down and kind of start to massage this area a little bit. If you get used to this, you'll actually be able to strengthen your legs, your horse stance, and your arms all at the same time. It becomes a little bit like weightlifting. This is like doing my chest pressed or something, okay? Or my dips. And then what you're going to do is you're going to shift your weight from one side to the other side. And if you have some pressure on the thighs with your hands, you're going to feel that that's kind of giving you a massage. What's called the head of the quadricep is going to move back and forth, that musculature. It's going to move back and forth, and you're going to be able to get some massage in here. What you can also do is change the direction of your hands. You see how my fingers are in toward the groin area? If I turn them back out, now they're out this way. And I'm going to bring my shoulder forward and my other shoulder forward, and I'm just changing angles here to get a little more pressure on my leg and working with that horse stance. So through here, this is, in Chinese medicine, the stomach channel runs through this area. So we're kind of working through here, working with the digestion, working with the stomach channel, okay? Major player in low back problems especially. Another major player with low back problems is a channel that runs on the outside of your leg here, runs down the pant line. It's either called the IT band, if you're like a physical therapist or massage therapist and are familiar with that, or the gallbladder meridian also runs here. So I'm going to elongate one leg, and then what I want to do is I want to tap this area, especially right here along the thigh. So I'm tapping this area. If you're more flexible, you can kind of stretch this out and work with it, but I'm going to assume you're not at the moment. And I'm going to just want you to see some degree of this, however you can kind of reach that side, okay, of the leg to get some tapping here. And then you're going to shift so that your weight goes over to this side, okay? And you're going to tap over here. So this is a technique of working with horse stance and working with both the stomach meridian and also the gallbladder meridian. Tapping. Then if you come back up like this, both legs somewhat elongated, this is the same technique, just a slight variation. Instead of being in horse stance, I'm kind of like this, I'm tapping this gallbladder meridian. Not only is this good for the low back, and first of all, I'm going to tell you, it is amazing as far as helping people to heal their low backs. I find that a lot of therapists work the low back, but then people will come see me. I go to their legs here, I go to their legs here, and all of a sudden they can stand up straight. So when they're like this, they have a hard time standing up straight. It's because of these muscles, but also because of these meridians. So that's exercise number 5. The next exercise that I want to take you into, we'll give you one more here, is you're going to take your middle fingers, you're going to place them together, and you're going to put them at the lower rim of your belly button. I want you to hold that. You can stand like this, or stand like this. I'm going to stand like this, so whatever's comfortable for you. From here, I'm going to begin something called breath of fire. It's in and out through the nose. Goes like this. So that's an in-out. And I'm attempting to raise my belly, not my chest, so it's not like this. I see people do that. Should be relaxed. This here is just this. And slow sounds like this. This is going to take some practice, but start with it wherever you are. In, out, in, out, in, out. I'm going to do an inhale. And then I'm going to do an exhale. So one more round of that. That's what it sounds like ongoingly. To begin with, most of you will be like, am I breathing in? Am I breathing out? I'm not sure what I'm doing. And that's because of the congestion in the nervous system. So chi rides on the breath. So as we do this, we're irrigating the chi pathways and the meridians, opening things up. But it takes some practice. There's some resistance and some blockages that we might have to move through. Let's do another round here. Okay, you do your best. I'm going to speed it up a little bit just so you can see a slightly increased variety of this practice. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.